102.3 Abuja.
Something now.
It's the bomb, yo. Wake up and don't sleep on a bicycle.
Next. This is Eagles Morning Rise, where you get inspired,
Updated,
talk sports, and discuss topical national issues.
all served hot, like coffee.
Yummy.
This is gonna be the best day of my life.
Eagles Morning Rise with
Natural Prince.
6 a.m.
to 10 a.m. every weekday
on your #1 radio experience. You can count on Eagles 102.3 FM.
Good morning again. Thank you for leaving your dials locked on your radio experience. You can count on. And this morning on Eagles Outlook, we would be talking understanding original inhabitants' concerns ahead of FCT area council elections. Our guest this morning is Mr. Danladi Jeji, who is President, Original Inhabitants Development Association. He's joining us live in the studio this morning. So if you have any concerns or anything that you want to put forward regarding, the concerns and challenges of original inhabitants of the FCT, you may want to put that forward this morning. But before we get into the conversation in full swing, we know what we do. We go on to find out trending political or news stories across the country, and that's what we'll do now. My name is Natural Prince. Welcome to the program. And in trending news stories this morning, President Muhammadu Buhari has assured Nigerians that his administration is determined to hand over a better Nigeria than the one they inherited, and urged people to be fair in their assessment of what his government has achieved so far. Buhari specifically urged Nigerians to assess him on the campaign promises he made ahead of the 2015 general elections. He made this statement during his visit to Kaduna for a 2-day working visit to commission projects in Kafanchan, Kaduna, and Zaria. Former Governor of Lagos State, Asiwaju Ahmed Bola Tinubu, has said that former military head of state, General Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida, has supported him with prayers in his presidential aspiration. The national leader of the All Progressives Congress, APC, told journalists after a closed-door meeting with General Babangida that his consultation was in relation to his bid to become president of Nigeria in 2023. And now the rising price of crude oil may push premium motor spirits, PMS, otherwise called petrol, to 403 naira per litre. As of January 14, 2022, PMS pricing template was 403 naira per litre, making a subsidy differential of 241 naira of every litre sold in the country. According to the estimate, petrol per litre is 349 naira from country of import, but freight and landing cost pushed the figure to 384 naira, while distribution margin and bridging fund in transport logistics further pushed the cost to 403 naira. Forming part of our conversation this morning, Nigeria Labour Congress NLC has expressed support for the bill seeking to outlaw payment of house rents in the Federal Capital Territory FCT on a yearly basis. The Congress said it was inconceivable, callous and wicked to expect Nigerian workers who earn salaries on a monthly basis to pay house rent on a yearly basis, adding that the passage of the bill will rescue many Nigerian workers and ordinary people from the rent siege. Well, as we get in the conversation this morning with our guest, Mr. Danladi Jeji, who is president of the Original Inhabitants Development Association in FCT. He's joining us live in the studio. You too can be a part of the conversation. 090-7353-0044 and 090-8766-8888. You can send us a message on 090-9705-4450. Thank you so much for joining us this morning, Mr. Jeji.
Thank you very plenty, Mr. Ihenacho. My name is Pastor Jeji Danladi, the president of Original Inhabitants of FCT, OIDA.
Okay,
Pleasure to meet you today.
Pleasure to have you in our studios. We really appreciate you joining us. Now, let's get to the conversation. Over time, we've had your association demand certain things from the federal government and even from the minister of the FCT. At some point, you were agitating for a commission, a development commission for the FCT. How far has that come, looking at how your concern was for those who have been displaced, those original inhabitants who were displaced, you know, as the city continues to be urbanized? How far has that gone? Are you still in that chase for a development commission?
Thank you very much, Mr. Inacho. I want to thank God for this very question you have asked me this morning. And I see it as a rare privilege for the issue of the original inhabitants of FCT, especially to this very wonderful FM radio. It is symbolizing Nigerian coat of arms, eagle. I thank God for this very opportunity. The original inhabitants are having plenty concerns. The Federal Capital Territory, as we see it today, is today just 12 days to come. 3rd February 2022, Federal Capital Territory will be 46 years in existence. It came to existence on the 3rd of February 1976, following Murtala's broadcast. That broadcast is one of the most wonderful broadcasts that was ever done in issue of development of federal capital and for Nigeria as a whole. And I'm talking like this because I'm inside the eagle. And I expect that this eagle will hear and carry this news to all Nigerians. If we forget history, we will not know what we are doing now and we will have the future one kind. So I think to guide our discussion and with your question, I think it's good for me to just briefly tell Nigerians that are living here that this Federal Capital Territory that we see is, by broadcast, is now 46 years old. If a man was born on 3rd February 1976, he's 46 years now. That person is not a child. But that broadcast was one of the most devastating broadcasts for the original inhabitant because the broadcast was done in such a way that it was a contract that was taken by Nigerians in order to develop Nigeria. The broadcast went this way. That day when Nigerians woke up and the broadcast by Murtala was that, my fellow Nigerians, the federal government have finally decided that Nigeria will move the federal capital from Lagos to a new virgin land, and that Lagos is going to resume the commercial capital of Nigeria. The new virgin land is declared virgin because the 3 major ethnic groups do not exist in 8,000 square kilometers of land of the Federal Capital Territory. The languages that existed here are the Bayi, Bari, Gede, Gana, Gwandara, Basa, Igbira, Koro, Amama. 9 languages declared by the report of Aguda panel that brought that report, and Nigerian government saw it deemed fit to make that broadcast and then declare that the 450,000 households that made up these 9 languages, because the 3 major ethnic groups are not having a stake in the 8,000 square kilometers of land of the Federal Capital Territory. As far as Nigerian broadcast that day, the world is hearing and are moving, and Nigerians are moving in that direction that the FCT land is a virgin land. That broadcast was done without doing the due diligence of Nigerians. Well, Nigeria has almost been and is still doing the same thing. Probably, maybe this administration is trying to correct it. Nigeria is a country that starts building from the top before the bottom. You hear the order is from above. Because this country is not the first country to ever remove a capital from a location to another area. All countries that do things correctly, first of all, will do what is called environmental impact assessment. Millennium Development Goal 2008, because of this agitation over time, wanted to actually find out, is it true that the FCT is a virgin land? There is, in 2008, Millennium Development Goal discovered that there are 858 villages that exist in the Federal Capital Territory. Nigeria that we have it today come to existence in 1914 in amalgamation. These villages that make up the Federal Capital Territory with 858 villages existed here even before 1914 Nigeria amalgamation. Now a head of state will now broadcast that as far as the report that wanted Nigeria to hear, that because the three major ethnic groups do not exist here, that the villages, as far as Nigeria is concerned, is a virgin land. That is the biggest challenge we have in Nigeria, original habitat issue in FCT. And I don't know how we will manage this question you have asked.
That broadcast to you, does it in any way undermine the existence of the people who existed here before, you know, that broadcast was made? I see that there's a feeling of a rejection, like people who were living in this part of the country, in this particular space, were undermined by that broadcast. Is that what you're putting forward?
Is the facts speak clear for itself? How can a country develop, and the nature and creator has given us a country according to ethnologue, ethnicity, languages, studies in the world? We know that ethnologue by either 2002, 2007 is saying that there is, in generality, about 7,000 languages in the world. And the whole country, the only country that is blessed with endowment of ethnic people living together all over the world, no country ever surpassed Nigeria, that is having up to 507 languages. And FCT is having 9 original habitant languages occupying the area. But the 507 languages that exist in Nigeria, that Nigeria should use to make Nigeria truly great, and not only great and giant of Africa. Nigeria has narrowed itself to only focus on 3 languages, have the 3 languages in West African exam. People can develop themselves and become educationists in the 3 languages in Nigeria, but all the other languages doesn't matter. And that broadcast, that is the same line it took. Do you need to say that it were rejected? For now, that is 46 years of existence of FCT, and FCT people today, we have no focus. The government has rendered us stateless. We are without focus, even from the broadcast from the word go. When Murtala did that broadcast, 13 days of that broadcast, Murtala was assassinated by Dinka's coup. Obasanjo wanted to correct that matter because he took over the power. When he took over power, and in 1978, Obasanjo discovered, and the report came to him by the University of Ibadan, that did the community study and found out these 858 community living here. Therefore, the land is not virgin. And there were, at the 1978, that he saw, and the demographic department told the world and Nigerian that we were already at that time 450,000 households in FCT. Now, today, in 2006 census calculation, you will find that all Nigerians, when there is census, Nigeria will go back to their states. Even in FCT, anytime there is or there is a holiday or anything, Nigerian people disappear from FCT and go back to their states. That census in 2006 revealed that there are 1,405,202 people in FCT. If you check demographic period, it is truly correct. Even projected figure today, FCT population is original habitant is 3.5 million people, original habitant people. But yet the government is operating FCT as if the land doesn't belong to anybody. We have no governance, and the contra was that the government did that broadcast and brought the Federal Capital Territory here. for it to serve as the political capital of Nigeria, that if these communities are going to be resettled out of the territory, but Obasanjo's demographic report discovered that at that time 2.8 billion naira was needed to resettle the people of FCT, and there was no way Nigerian government would be able to have that money to resettle original inhabitants. So there was a shift of policy. The government somersaulted in its policy. They have told the world that as far as Nigeria is concerned, the three languages are not here. It's a virgin land. And yet, demographic report by geography department in University of Ibadan is telling Nigeria at that time 450,000 households are here, needing 2.8 billion naira to pay the compensation for their crops, not even their land and their properties yet, but only for the farm produce. Nigerian government decided that they will not be able to resettle original inhabitant people who will remain the citizens of FCT. And since then, 46 years of existence, even with 20 plus years of democracy, original inhabitant people have no focus. We don't have anything. In fact, even the sad thing that is really happening, on the 12th of February, we are going to be doing election. On the 3rd of February, there are going to be election. And you know what is the challenge that we're having? If you ask Nigerian people, how many local government do you have in Nigeria? They are going to tell you there are 774 local government. If you check Nigerian constitution, you are going to see something different. Section 3, subsection 6, 1999 constitution as amended. If you read that constitution, you're going to see that there is 768 local government and 6 area councils. For God's sake, if Nigerians are not trying to do something to us, and all of us are thinking we are in a place, this thing that is happening in FCT, if you don't correct it, this dehumanization, this relegation, this our annihilation system, this focus on 3 major ethnic groups and stepping down on the remaining 504 languages in Nigeria, and FCT is having now, and you care less about their landed property, which Creator gave every ethnic people to live in their land. Time will tell.
All right, the conversation continues here. This is your radio experience you can count on. We're talking understanding original inhabitants' concerns ahead of FCT area council elections. Now, we've been talking with Pastor Danladi Jeji, who is the president of the Original Inhabitants Development Association. Keep it with us on your radio experience you can count on.
See, I'm the new guy in this city, living life with no regrets. She's the one who knows her way around, the one who never left home, never left home. No, not yet, no, not yet. And after 4 shots we start talking about the change that she might see when it's time to go to foreign lands to chase IMSC. And she said, I'm scared of what comes next. So I said, open up your mind, you never know what you will find. And she said, Abuja, that's all I know, so don't leave me hanging after I go. Keep me posted with all that I should know when I'm away, out on my own. So wait for me, I'll be coming. Into your arms I'll be running back home. Now we're 5 shots in, yeah. All these emotions come running from my skin, yeah. She's looking sad, but I don't know where to begin. And kakarigo, akamneno, wane mamaru himneme. She said the beauty to this city lies not just in what you see, but through the eyes of those who call it home. And an opportunity, oh, but don't marama. I ain't get where you did. One name me pie, he got free him na fool. And she said, Abuja, that's all I know. So don't leave me hanging after I go. Don't keep me posted with all that I should know. When I'm wet, out on my own. So wait for me, I'll be coming. Into your arms, I'll be running. Running back home. So evidently I've been searching for ways to leave the past behind. Digging way beneath the surface, it's been all in my mind. Hey, hey, this opportunity is what you make. You have to let things go before you walk to run away in ways that you don't know. Here he can make it kaputa ni he. She said, Abuja, that's all I know. So don't leave me hanging after I go. Or keep me posted with all that I should know. When I'm wet, out on my own. So wait for me, I'll be coming. Into your arms I'll be running. Running back home.
Eagles 102.3 Abuja.
Let's spice up your day. Tune in to a breath of fresh air. It's all fun and games until it gets extra and better. 102.3 Extra, weekdays 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. with Lee J. Cheers to something new.
It's Tongue Twister Friday.
What's going on, yeah?
Repeat a phrase 5 times real fast without mispronouncing any word.
Fantabulous.
She sells seashells by the seashore.
I used to wash my Irish fish, but I used to wash my Irish fish, but I used to wash my Irish fish, but I used to...
You were like my Irish fish wash.
How fast do we hear of this?
Goggles, gobble, gobbling, goblins.
You don't know why it's going on.
Give it a try on the Friday Traffic Rush at 5 p.m. on Eagles 102.3 FM.
Eagles Morning Rise. Eagles Morning Rise with
Natural Prince.
Yes, the conversation continues here on your radio experience. You can count on, you can jump in and be a part of it with your 2 cents. Call 090-7353-0044 and 090-8766-8888. You may want to send us a message on 090-9705-4450. That's for WhatsApp and SMS. Don't forget, you can watch us live on Facebook at Eagles FM Abuja. Same as YouTube at Eagles FM Abuja. Right, we've been talking for the benefit of those who may just be joining us, understanding original inhabitants' concern ahead of the FCT area council elections. And well, I guess this morning is Pastor Danlaji Jeji, who is the president of the Original Inhabitants Development Association, joining us here. Be a part of it, and let's get talking. Now, Pastor Jeji, let's talk about, the fact that the FCT would have the area council elections.
Yes.
And from the Constitution has said the president, administers over the FCT, and the president can appoint a minister, to administer on his behalf, and that's what it has been. But over time, it just seems like for other states, as it is, the governors nominate, people who would represent those states and the interest of the, state indigents and those from that state. But in this case, it's quite different. The president appoints anybody, who he feels. Same thing with the local area council elections. The FCT does not have local government, as we call it. It is the area council elections that's coming up soon. And we have people from other parts of the country contesting. Is this a concern to you?
Thank you very much for this question. You see, the brokers describe Lagos as originally it was the federal capital of Nigeria. In the brokers, the Murtala broker was that Lagos is going to resume commercial capital of Nigeria. So even though the Lagos is now going to lose the political capital to be in the federal capital territory. Now, capital of Lagos has their governor. At the same time, till today, is having governor. At the same time, is the federal capital, commercial capital of Nigeria. FCT that is having 8,000 square kilometers of land, larger than Lagos 3 times, only occupying political capital, has been denied anything from the name. First of all, the Lagos have local government, and yet is the federal capital, commercial capital of Nigeria. FCT is only political capital, has been denied that presence of government. We have no governors. And the Constitution cunningly put in 299 that FCT will be treated as if it is a state. That Section 147, the head of state will appoint minister in 36 states, provided that that person is an indigent of that state. It did not say an FCT. Therefore, head of state bring head minister from anywhere, because Murtala told Nigerians that nobody exists here as long as the 3 languages are not here. Then you are not doing elections. And FCT in the Constitution is saying you cannot declare head of state until the political capital give you 2/3 of the vote before they declare you head of state. And yet it is a virgin land, and the major ethnic groups do not exist here. And now you are doing elections, and you ask me to say about what do you do the area council election. What do I say? We have been beaten, and we say we shouldn't cry. We have been marginalized, and you say we should not talk. Those who are looking for political position in FCT area councils, do your best in the midst of this confusion, and let's see what happens. But what I want you to know, all of you seeking political position, what you are looking for and seeking for, may God grant your desires, but know that people exist here, and they have no focus. The law have told us that we don't exist here, and yet you are looking for political position. Congratulations, may you get it. But remember that we are here. If you do not answer us, and Nigeria have agreed that they should not answer us, greater will fight it for us. But I thank God, Eagle FM 102.3 has brought me to air to let the whole birds hear our talk that this is the thing that Nigeria is doing to us. It's not correct. Change constitution. Nigerian constitution matter has been asked. People, the lawmakers are in Nigeria, in FCT, and are passing all kind of bills that you can now pass a bill in FCT and then decide to pay only 3 months, and then later on. Very good, it look good. I pray that that senator has also passed it in his state, because he's not from FCT. Because
Hold that one. Let's bring in this caller. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, my friend.
Good morning, Paul. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning to Baba.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
And my prince, you see, these are the things we are talking about in this country. Now, the question I keep on asking is this. Baba will help me explain better. Has there been a time where we had both senators representing FCT, House of Reps, and other people that are in government that have helped to move, to change, to repeal that bill, to repeal that law that set up FCT, to include the indigenous, or to make, as you said, they said the law does not recognize that there are people that exist in this place. Has there been any time for them to have moved for this and make the law recognize that there are people? Because it's very painful. It's very, very painful, my prince, that an institution of FCT, but you cannot benefit from the system of the government. This is where the government sits. They have been, I don't know how to call it, the marginalization in the FCT is too glaring. I'm from Kaduna State. We are neighbors. There are worries in let me just say it this way. There are worries in Kaduna State. There are worries in FCT. There are worries in even Koros, other tribes. So we are neighbors. Whatever is happening to the FCT, it affects me from Kaduna State. But I see that the marginalization is very painful. Like he said, you are beating a child, you will not allow it to cry. They can't come out to protest. Security will be sent against them. This government is not listening to them. From the inception, there has never been any person from the FCT that has been a minister. Let us do this thing. Nigeria should move past all this kind of things. We're supposed to treat people equally. Equity should be the watchword of every appointment in this country. If you know they are in the river and stop is entering their eyes.
All right.
So that's why most times they take the anger on other people like us who are coming in to look for something to eat. They will allocate land, they collect all their land, they allocate without recourse to their own input. There are a lot of things that affect them, and they don't have any other place. Remember that this is where they have been born, this is their fatherland, they don't have any other place to go to. And that's what the government fails to recognize. You bring somebody from another state nominated by a governor to come and rule FCT, and yet they have people who represent them in the same government, in the legislature, and they recognize them, and they can't give them even one slot for the FCT minister. It's very annoying. If they take it out of us, we'll be complaining, but sometimes I understand. When they come talking about land, I will understand with them, because if you take this land, that is their own inheritance. It's gone forever. They either move to the bush, and the children they don't have anything to hold on to. It's very painful. Thank you very much.
All right, Paul, thank you so much for calling, and thank you for your contribution. Now, Paul made a valid question. He was asking, has there been a time where the senator representing the FCT has pushed for the recognition of the original inhabitants? Have you made for legislation to change, to recognize the FCT original inhabitants?
Thank you very much for this question. You are asking me. It's a very good question you have asked, and the observer. Thank you very much. 36 states of Nigeria have 3 senators. What did FCT people do to you that you give them only 1 senator? The whole 36 states have 3 senators?
But
they have
the
governors.
FCT, according to the Constitution, is
the
not
Constitution says that now. That why? Because the government is saying we don't exist here. Then the senator, who is 1, all 36 states are having House of Rep, least 6. All of them are having 6 House of Rep. FCT 2. All 36 states have local government. FCT does not have local government. They have area councils. Then is the senator and the 2 House of Rep and the 6 area councils that have no governance that I don't want to push this. Original inhabitants have submitted 8 memoranda to the National Assembly to change the constitution. Nigerians, over 200+ million people. So all of us with 109 senators, with 360 House of Rep, that to remove if in 1999 Constitution, Section 299, that is saying FCT should be treated as if it's a state, so that Nigeria will now remove these bodies have found it difficult to remove if, so that we will have 37 states in Nigeria, and yet the law, both judiciaries have declared FCT by law is a state. Cotton Farming Association in Nigeria has recognized FCT as a state. I'm a cotton farmer. I have their ID card here. FCT state. And yet, you want the lawmakers that they don't see this. They are after the land. They are dividing the land, bringing IDPs in FCT, collecting all lands, and rendering the people, as long as the 3 major ethnic groups are not going to have anything here, they will never listen to this. But I want to let the 3 people learn the languages know. As we continue to rule Nigeria like this, we will not grow. No good. You better come back and correct it. This is democracy. We are part of democracy. You are in our land. If you don't do something for us, he who gave us this land will show us what to do with the people in our land. I cannot understand how you claim to be a lawmaker, it's living in an illegal place, and you make law for a land that is not your own, and you don't do it in your state. Somebody has even written down that they should compensate and resettle us, and National State House of Rep. And yet, he is in his state. He is living in his state, but he wants the original inhabitant to be resettled out. And yet, these original inhabitants are not only existing here, we are in 20 naira currency. Look there, you're going to see like Dukwali, who is the original owner of this place. He wants to resettle us. To where? After 46 years of existence in Federal Capital Territory, and yet we existed here before Nigeria was amalgamated. I am from Karo. The first convert to Christianity received Christ in 1910. Nigeria was not even in existence. The villages living in FCT here existed here. And the world and the government of the country told the world that we are not existing here. Even me, as I'm talking to you, my last daughter, I have an ID card here. She went to secondary school. You know what they told her? That she in Plateau State. What state of origin? They wrote National State for her. They said, Daddy, she came back here and said, Daddy, I told my teacher that I'm from FCT. They told her that there's nobody in FCT. She gave me the ID card. I told her, please, maybe the teacher made a mistake. Go back and correct it. She went back. She did the same ID card was made. She has 2 ID cards, and they still wrote National State. This girl, my daughter, she is now in university. She told me, Daddy, I will not use the ID card. Nothing will happen to me. By the grace of God, let me grow. Nigeria, we are going to see in FCT. Here is the ID card with me. And yet, here you are asking us, we should ask for minister. Nigerian capital as a whole, all the 36 states, elect their governors. The governor will pick somebody to become a minister. But here you are asking the population of FCT, and we are never even giving a minister. And the constitution said that we are a state. It's only if that we should remove. What is it now? You are asking us to do local government election. We are going to do local government. It's not local government, it's area council election. Who have no say? If he doesn't pick somebody that is somewhere, if he does not pick a language that is the majority, he will not win election. And we are in democracy. Please, what we are saying is this. What we are just saying is, if we want to develop Federal Capital Territory, let's renegotiate now. We are human beings. You can't treat us like this. This thing that has happened in FCT, if this land was in Lagos, it was pushed, it's now commercial capital. It's no more political capital. Now, Lagos, if this capital is going to go to Kano, Kano will agree with this situation that's happening here. Why are you doing it to us now? We pay the same tax. We belong to you, and we are still the same. My brother has just spoken now that the same language of Gwaji and other languages are cutting across the neighboring states, and they are all there. So you think that this thing that is happening is going to go without anything? 46 years, we are peacefully talking and talking. Very soon, God, Creator, will come to my end. My children will not talk. My daughter has told me that let her grow. And your children are growing here. We are leaving us without status, without focus, without direction, and yet you are giving us democracy. And the Constitution says that we are here as a state.
Judge, hold that thought, please. Let's bring in another caller. Hello, good morning.
Hello, my friends. This is Paul calling back. I just want to give one suggestion to Baba. I don't know whether you need to put your house in order. That's one. Secondly, you have councillors in all these area councils. I don't know whether the law recognizes the laws or the law the councillors make in their own local government. If the law recognizes them making laws that will benefit their own people, why can't they start doing something from the local community by changing some of these laws? Let it start from the councillors level and see what they can enact from the area council, and then begin to push it. Let's see what the Constitution says about them. I don't know whether the Constitution recognizes the councillors in the area councils with the laws that they make when they speak. That's what I'm just trying to say.
Let me respond by saying, you see, the law, FCT, by Nigerian law, is an act of the law. Other things are governed by policy, policy and memo and memoranda. Therefore, since FCT existence, it is an area council. If they make law, who assent their law, because they are overall person, is the head of state, who is their governor, should, when the local government make law, the area council, he is not a local government. The law, where does it reach? Who assent his issue? Does he exist here? So this is the problem that Nigeria has created for regional habitat. And you know why? Because the land of FCT is sweeter than any other land in the world. That's why everybody is doing this. So if you want the local government to, the area councils to formulate laws, which, okay, we'll start from the bottom up. When the broadcast was that the land of FCT is a virgin land, we don't exist here. And now, 12 days to come, 12 February 2022, FCT now will be electing local area council chairman and co. And yet, the law says we don't exist here. Nigeria. This connecting, what would you do? How would Mayor Kawashi? What happened? Why? How?
The question there, the conversation continues. Be a part of it. Let us know what you think. Call 090-7353-0044 and 090-8766-888.
Eagles 102.3 FM, Abuja.
Hey, this is Justin Bieber.
This is Gwen Stefani. Hi, this is Madonna.
What's up, you guys? It's Nicki Minaj.
Is it too late now to say sorry?
Baby, don't lie. I don't wanna cry no longer. Eagles 102.3.
Eagles Morning Rise. Eagles Morning Rise with
The conversation continues now. We're bringing a caller to be a part of the conversation. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, hello, good morning.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, my name is Elisha Yakubu.
Elisha, go ahead, let's hear you.
It's okay. I want to greet the guest in the house, that is the president of OIDA, Original Inhabitants.
Thank you very much.
And I also want to thank this platform that was being given to the OIDA. You know, one thing is that the Nigerians don't really know the history